depending on who's watching the video, you might be an expert watching this video. You might be a beginner watching this video. So an expert's feedback will also contribute to the beginner's understanding of the topic. And a beginner's commentary or questions will contribute to the expert's level to answer that. So realistically, everybody needs to be part of that journey, okay, and get involved. Hello and welcome to the Tech and AI show on AUK Radio. My name is Tamar and Robinson, and I'm joined in the studio once again by
Dr. Muhammad. Hi, Mister.
Yes, we're coming to the end of summer, and as we begin to think about the possibility of it not being as nice in the UK, we're talking about AI, tech, and healthcare today.
Yeah.
Right, which is a big topic.
Yeah, it is.
It affects all of us in many different ways, whether it's private healthcare, NHS. It's a big topic with regards to the UK, the new government, and how they want to approach the future of this country.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this topic for a while.
Yep.
However, maybe we can focus on a few specific things about maybe data, the ethics of how things are as a society and how we view the changes happening in healthcare.
Yeah. Well, quite as you pointed out, and the main issue is healthcare has huge impact in society.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like something to be taken seriously. And as well, AI has the potential to actually effect change, revolutionize or enhance how healthcare delivery is performed. But definitely there need to be the ethical side, there need to be some caution, and I think that's why we're here to discuss and have a look into both sides, the negative, the positive, and analyze and maybe be a bit critical.
And maybe give some, not necessarily solutions, but present some arguments for why it needs to be used in the right way, what we need to watch out for, and how everyone in all parts of society can kind of get involved and share their ideas or their energy with what's happening. Okay, that's probably the ideal place to be.
Yeah.
And maybe people have concerns or worries about how technology is affecting healthcare or how they engage with it.
Yeah.
But I know for sure at different age groups, they will have different ideas and perceptions of the technology. The youngsters, they were like, okay, I have the health app on my phone.
Yeah.
They're going to use that a lot.
Yes.
Through to probably, different age groups. But maybe the older generations might have difficulties or struggle with engaging with
that's so true.
autonomous technology. So take it away. Where's your mind?
The point you raised is true, is correct. I think generation that are born into a certain technology, tend to adapt and use it better than those that just it emerged during their time. So I can understand the psychology, and as well it kind of also depend on the level of knowledge and understanding you have for something. Part of the solution, they say, to counter kind of a bit of unnecessary this extremist hate and towards some communities, minority especially, is lack of understanding. Because what you don't know and actually understand, you tend to, there is high probability you start fear can easily get to emerge. But what you get to understand and know, you see that fear is not there. So this also can apply to technology. The technology, you have knowledge of how it's operate, you are used to, you tend to like it most probably or use it easily. Some will be more skeptical, and then some, the fear can creep in. I don't trust this, I don't trust that. And this is not like being critical, but it's like emotional fear. Thinking that the technology might do this or that. I remember going back in history, when alternating current AC was created by Nikola Tesla that time in America, and a lot of arguments. People were afraid, oh, this thing can kill people. This, which is true, AC, alternating current, can easily harm humans. But the way, the beauty of human beings is the way we insulate it and put it on one insulator after another and wrap it, and especially now on the ground, you can't even see it. So it's just doing the good work, though it has the potential to harm.
Okay.
But the way humans manage to, use it, so it's good.
So I think you're saying it's how it's put in, how it's managed is going to depend on how we feel about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the emergence of like the alternating current, I'm saying there was genuine fear by people, which is true. But that time the fear it overwhelms people, not thinking of, okay, this thing has the positive, how can we move forward and use it? Now later generation, myself, that came years later after, we don't even think of that.
No.
Because we have mastered it. Today you have electrical engineers, they know all how to operate. So that knowledge helps to steer us away from that fear.
So what fear do you think is happening now when it comes to healthcare, technology, and possibly AI? What kind of everyday fears? I don't know if you've got a story about that, but
I think I read some stories, and to acknowledge, there is one I think you share with me, which I read, which is interesting. Generally, the whole point is about AI generally as an emerging technology, and you can see different level of category of age groups that may have more tendency to adapt and use it than others, and the level of fear or skepticism about how to use it. So generally, and I think both have right to what they, like I said, it's also your knowledge, your exposure born into it. To give you example, which may I've been telling people, someone like me, for now, I honestly, sincerely believe in my mind, I would prefer where we have driverless car.
Really?
I think society there will be less accident, less traffic.
Okay.
And I can trust it. And same thing, like we are talking about healthcare, I don't have problem with AI.
So you've got no problem with it?
I think I can trust AI.
Okay,
equal
interesting.
or if not more than humans.
Okay.
But why am I saying this? Because I have the knowledge. I know how AI works.
Okay.
I can imagine like a doctor, that's what I see in AI, diagnosing me. I don't think it has been rolled out in full time. But imagine a scenario where you have an AI that have access to thousands and millions of, medical books. Because even humans are trained with those books. If you go back, let me start with Galen, the Greek time, you come to Al-Razi, Ibn Sina, then you come to modern technology, that AI will have access to all these books.
Okay, so you're focusing
knowledge.
You're focusing on the upside and the benefits.
Yeah, well, doctors are trained with those books. Is there they got the knowledge, and then AI has it, and it has more books. It has access to Chinese medicine.
Okay. Okay.
So kind of, I'm trying to imagine understanding how it works. It have access to this knowledge, and then all these symptoms, this and that.
So the main challenge is maybe keeping the knowledge up to date, because if there's new ways of doing things, new medicine
it's not
treatments,
even challenge, it's the beauty, because it's only AI that can catch up in real time. So humans have to go and read if there is a new book, but AI today, a book is released, it's update itself.
I think you make a good point, because it's in real time. You could just literally just plug it in, whoop, upload like that.
Exactly.
A doctor would have to do a bit more of a process of
maybe
embedding
months.
it. Okay.
To catch up.
Right. So speed is the one of the main benefits.
And that's part of the benefit of AI. It will be up to date when it comes to research and development in the healthcare system. It will be phasing out maybe procedures and protocol and whatever you call it that has been tested and maybe not perform the way it was expected, it can phase out and adjust itself with the best method.
Yeah.
And so this is the good side, and I honestly believe, like most technologies, if used positively, I'm being optimistic here.
I think you're being very
It's, yeah,
optimistic.
it will help in advancing, you know, the healthcare system.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
There may be some negative, but looking at other technologies, how they evolve, we just have to find a way to deal with
I
the
think
negatives.
it's important we keep you said updating it. So anyone that has had a negative experience or a negative fear with the technology, it's
Yeah.
important they probably share that experience
Yeah.
so that it can upgrade and learn, and those that are
Yeah.
looking after the technology can make sure that it
And I
improves.
agree with you, and to even put it further, before it's been rolled out and fully integrated, because as from what I know now, right now, it's being used in some aspects, so it's not actually rolled out across the main
Okay.
health system. So it may be used for to help in some administrative job, this and that. Maybe with time we can see how it may be rolled across the entire system, including like acting as a physician, like
Yeah.
diagnosing patient. Before then, I agree. Whoever has any skepticism, people should be critical of the system before it be rolled out. Anything one can imagine, all the fear, all the concern, voice it out, so that developers will look into it. People like myself, that we are discussing the thing in the media, talk about it, so that it's been designed with a mitigating factor inbuilt with all this problem. One of the things that I know people are of concern is the issue of handling of data.
Yeah.
How people privacy can be guaranteed, it can be secured. Other issues like bias, which I totally agree, because it depends on the kind of data that you use to train an AI. So you can, use certain people from certain region or background, race or ethnicity, and train AI model, and then that thing may not apply to some minorities. So
100%.
yeah, so
because,
I know that has been an issue. I have read some, which is good, because so far the concerns has been raised, and I believe the developers will try, and government as well, and see how they make sure this issue is being addressed, so that they will improve the AI to address that.
You mentioned bias earlier, and I think that is one of the main concerns, especially for people, Caribbean Africans in the UK. Sometimes our treatment in and around the healthcare services is questionable. So when it comes to moving the conversation and saying, okay, this is our treatment in the past, in the future, we want it to be improved. So the call to action I was suggesting is to get involved, is to share your concerns, share your frustrations, because ultimately you want to shape what it turns out to be. And when it comes to AI, and we could go very deep on this, but in the training data, in the sets, you want to have our community's voices heard within it. Okay, and there'll still be fear, because they don't want to exploit our data. We don't want our voices and experiences to be kind of stolen or taken. But if the whole infrastructure in somewhere like the UK is becoming data-based, it's been data-based for a while, but in the way it is, if we don't include our feedback and our thoughts and our voices, then when their system is ready, they'll say, the system is ready, it's perfect, and you'll go, I don't think it's ready, because I don't think our community was
captured. They are excluded, or they are not represented as such. And I agree with the point you raised, and I think it's a good point, and this should be like a clarion call to all the communities, all minorities, majorities. Everybody should try to participate, especially when it comes to maybe training the AI, the system. If the developers maybe need access to some data, participate, give them your opinion, your feedback, so they will address this, because without participation, definitely you will be excluded, and then that will result into bias, because the way AI works, AI development, design and development completely rely on data.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the first flag I will raise, one of the first ethical flag I will raise when it comes to AI concern, people should be biased. Because if the data is not spread, definitely, well, let me give you an example. If you now have some generative, like let's say, what do you call it, transcription app, or applications where you talk, they transcribe what you say. If you bring 3-4 different people, this person has American accent, very fluent. This one have British accent. This one has a different accent that is not British, American, is not English, is not their first language. Then you bring these 3 people, you will definitely see how it will transcribe. Transcribe this in English. It will pick that American accent, pick that British accent than those others, because it's trained with those accents perfectly. So that's how it works. It's the same thing now if you take a British or American and change the transcription language and maybe put it to Chinese, French, German, Greek, African language, Hausa, Swahili, Arabic.
Culturally.
So if you ask now a British to speak in this language, because it's not their mother tongue, the transcription will not be fluent. You can pick mistakes.
It won't pick it up, no.
Okay, so that's what I mean by bias, because it's trained on fluent English.
Yeah.
And now if you, let me give you an example. In Nigeria, there is a form of English called Pidgin.
Pidgin, yeah,
Pidgin.
okay. I know
you
Pidgin.
know you sabi Pidgin English. You sabi?
I don't speak it, but I know
But
it
you sabi
exists.
how we dey talk am?
No.
I just talk am now. So this
Good example. Good example.
So Pidgin English.
I'm not transcribing in live
it's
time.
English. So for example, if we train AI on Pidgin English, if you speak British accent, it will not transcribe very well.
Yeah.
Because it has been trained with this data, though it's English. You understand?
Okay.
Caribbeans have a form of English.
Yeah, absolutely. Patois,
Patois.
Creole. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of English that have changed over time.
So if you train, they are English. If you train AI, well, they are a form of English language. If you train AI based on this model, and that app is developed, if you speak English accent, it will not be beginning it very well.
So let's give a couple of scenarios possibly. So you are speaking with a technology AI-driven health service, and it's asking you to talk about your issues, talk about your healthcare issues.
Yeah.
If you're speaking in a other form of English, or maybe your native accent is different, that tool is going to struggle to fully transcribe what you're saying.
Yeah.
Most likely.
And understand,
okay. So it will create a bit of a feedback loop, maybe some frustration, maybe misdiagnosis in an extreme scenario.
Yes.
So the earlier that maybe different languages and dialects get involved with the training data and the technologies, gives it a better chance of better outcomes in the future. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, it's interesting because well, I'm really fascinated the way you even, I didn't actually mean this. I was trying to give an explanation of how training affect AI performance, but it's brilliant the way you even brought it into, because take for example, Britain now, the country that we are in now is a diverse country. No matter how you must take that fact into consideration, there are people from different ethnic background, because UK is like a multicultural, now I think it's all related back to the empire. It's reflecting.
Yeah.
So you see Indians, Africans, Caribbeans, Americans, everybody. So two things. First, I was talking about training. So if you want to diagnose a certain disease, you know symptoms, but sometimes symptoms, I think I'm not a medical expert, but it differs with sometimes the race and minority background. You see, they will say some minority are more susceptible to certain diseases, something like maybe diabetes, they say it's more prone to certain age, certain
or skin
ethnicity,
conditions.
this and that. So where you have or some common illness show different symptoms according to maybe age, gender, and ethnicity. It's the same illness, but it shows different signs according to your age or gender or ethnicity. So let's assume if that illness, the AI is trained to diagnose it, but it use one ethnic group or from that background to be trained. When someone from a different ethnic group that has not, the AI has not been trained in them, it will not diagnose them correctly, or it may
it has higher risk of misdiagnosis.
So that's what I was trying to say. But the brilliant point you make is like, even in terms of interacting with the AI, you will have issue with the language, the example I gave, but the way you brilliantly pick it, and like, it's true, it's even the first step, because as you are interacting with that model, it will be picking the wrong information. Well, you say, like I said, now if I say you sabi this, I meant you know how to do it. So when you say you sabi this, it will go and tell the system a wrong information instead of picking you know this. But if, for example, it's trained to pick Nigerian pidgin English, when you say, oh, you sabi this, it will translate it as you know how to. Which is, so you have to look at all this, and to conclude in this as regard, that's why participation from all groups is important, so that you will be captured, the diversity will be captured, and it will reflect in this.
I think the good news is that between the examples we're talking about and now is a big difference. Like now, any kind of technology and is still being monitored heavily by humans. Humans will probably still have a lot of oversight, and if there's any misunderstanding, there's probably still doctors or experts next to the technology at each point. So if there's a misunderstanding, they'll be fairly able to rectify it quickly. But in the distant future, the less human interaction that there is, you want the technology to be better equipped. And actually, going back to last week's episode, we talked about are we becoming less intelligent the more we lean on the technology? So imagine there's a scenario where the AI or the technology has misunderstood what the patient's saying, and then the human who's having oversight also doesn't have the intelligence anymore to challenge the system. Then you would have two failings, like one after another. Okay, so I don't want to present like scary scenarios. However, when you're moving forward, you're going, okay, this could be a thing, that could be a thing. And the reality is that we could get to a point where multiple failings are leading to bad outcomes for people.
Well, I agree. And I think for now, I believe we are safe, because definitely whatever technology is integrated into the healthcare system, it will be closely, in fact, it will be working in harmony with humans as takeoff. But like you rightly said, all the issue is the future. So imagine the next 50 years, 100 years, who knows how it most likely it will be independent technologies, stand alone. So the best thing is at the beginning, at the initial point, make sure it's highly regulated control with regard to this bias, all these issues, ethical issues were arising. It should be critically evaluated, and monitored and controlled the technology before it's been rolled out.
Yeah.
Because what you point, humans should be able to pick all this loophole and address it.
Yeah.
And that's why we always say the beauty of humanity is like whichever technology you take, humans are still at the top. They are the ones who will
Hopefully.
rectify it, and
Still there.
when it goes out of way.
I kind of think of it like a public service a little bit. Like if you're engaging with the technology, you're filling out these forms, doing it the right way, the best way. It might take more time, it might take more frustration,
Yes.
but technically, we're building on top of this hard work now. So most people won't probably visualize it like that, where they're going, I'm doing a good service for my family's future, my career.
Of course, and we have to picture it. I love the fact that we are pointing, you mentioned, it's future. People who build or who contribute, especially the theoretical knowledge, go back to the time of Sir Isaac Newton, when he was like pioneering all these laws. Newton, maybe I think he may have a glimpse of an idea what an aeroplane may be. He may have a glimpse of car, but imagine at that time all this technology did not emerge. So, but they laid the foundation.
There you go. Yeah.
They lay the foundation and see the amazing things their foundation has produced. So it's the same thing with us. You can only speculate, imagine, and assume, but only that time will tell you what actually is being done with this knowledge that we can say safely that we are pioneering it. Things like AI are being rolled out now, but in the next 100 years, what you can only, like I said, imagine. And even the imagination, I honestly believe, is just a glimpse.
Yeah.
Because 100 years, 200 years, wow.
If you can conceive it a little bit and then communicate it to other people, then I think that's the point where we're at now. We're saying, okay, if you are engaging with, let's say you're trying to order a repeat prescription from your doctor, and you have to use a form, and in that form you have to give all these paragraphs of information. You don't want to do that. You just want to get your healthcare sorted quickly. But if it was reframed slightly to say you will get your healthcare, but in doing so you're helping your future generations, maybe it would make the experience a bit more free-flowing as opposed to maybe frustrating, because I'm sure there are stories of people having difficulty ordering repeat prescriptions from their local doctors and basically having to do this process all the time. I know I've had to do that when ordering repeat prescriptions. You have to fill out this form every single time. You have to put all the details. Then it goes to the doctor. Then they sign it off. Then they review it. So you almost want it to be very instant. But each time I'm technically donating my knowledge, donating my life experience to this tool for it to learn and get better.
And exactly like I said, if there is one thing I'm asked, what is like the backbone of AI, I think is data set, from my understanding, my knowledge. So like you rightly said, this data we are producing now is literally what will be used to train this AI, and which will help future generation, our younger ones that will come. I am aware, which is genuine concern, some people are definitely raising concern and fear about how their data will be used for training all this AI, and their fear is legitimate, and I believe it should be addressed. And I think the developers as well as government should make sure people data is well handled according to law, ethically. People privacy should be seriously considered and given priority
Yeah.
while handling this data. But from my knowledge, I know there can't be any AI without data. So this as well, people need to understand this data are needed
It's needed.
for to develop
It's
this thing,
needed.
which will help all of us. So this is where the balance have to come. Is the government need to earn and the developers the trust of people by assuring them and guaranteeing their
It's about trust.
data will be handled ethically, it will be protected, it will be used according to what it's meant to be used. And then again, like we said, people, if they agree and they understand and they subscribe, should participate in helping give out this data for it to be used to train this AI that will help all of us. I still have that confidence in trusting AI in the health service.
UK is a good example of that. Like, if you're watching the videos, you're commenting on the videos, that is a form of you giving your opinions, your voices, your data. It's going to be used responsibly. We will respond accordingly as humans. Someone's going to put feedback. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to consider this. It's going to be maybe blended into what comes next. It's about trust. So if you trust that you're giving your voice, you're communicating, commenting on the videos, then it's going to have a feedback loop. Okay, so healthcare is no different to any other part of the society, any other part of our human experience. Yeah, get involved, communicate, hopefully in the right way, and it will come back to you later, to your generations, maybe.
Yeah,
possibly.
And mentioning feedback, because even AI, let me give you example, machine learning. A lot of there is the way you train or the models you have supervised and unsupervised.
Tell the people.
So with unsupervised, supervised means people will help in training, you give input, so you label it, this is the input, this is A, this is B, so that's how you train. This is positive, this is negative. How you train the data by imputing it, so humans will literally label and inform the system, this is this, this is this, this is this. But for the unsupervised, you give the system feedback, so it's self-learning. So that feedback is really important, because I picked the word you said, the feedback gave me an idea. So in an unsupervised system, it's the feedback that helps in improving the performance of the model. So yeah, feedback is generally needed, and like you even said, the people watching the video comment, make suggestions of topic you want to be discussed. And your feedback is really important, so it will help us improve. And generally in systems, control system as well, feedback is needed to help check.
You'll find there's a lot of overlapping information. What we say about healthcare could apply to transportation, but also depending on who's watching the video, you might be an expert watching this video, you might be a beginner watching this video. So an expert's feedback will also contribute to the beginner's understanding of the topic, and a beginner's commentary or questions will contribute to the expert's level to answer that. So realistically, everybody needs to be part of that journey, okay, and get involved. Right?
Yeah, that's true. And well, I just thought of another, I don't know, maybe I'm
You're smiling,
AI,
but
pro AI, because I'm being optimistic. But the advantage, some of the advantage, I believe, introducing AI, bringing it to the healthcare will add is the speed, because today the NHS here in the UK, the waiting list has been issue of concern. The number of waiting list patients. So AI will help in speeding the process. I can tell you, I can see a lot of positive. I'm being optimistic about integrating AI into the healthcare. Because in few minutes, what will take humans hours, AI can finish that task in few minutes. So that will definitely help if you roll out AI in healthcare, even for performing the administrative task, sorting things. Once you just program it, train it on such that I do this task, AI will absolutely do it in that
I agree, and ideally you want
fast
to
track.
roll out these kind of systems into an already working system. I think maybe in the UK we're already not working with a great system at times, so we think this is the solution to fix a broken system. Whereas I think it probably should have been, if you already have a good system, you add it on top and make it better.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I don't know any leadership names now to call out, but in the past the leaders have not kept the system running well, and now they're looking to AI to be the savior to everything, when really you
Quick
didn't make a
fix.
good system to begin with. So
Yeah, but someone like me will say already, well, we are where we are.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. How can we just move on? And like you said, AI, to use the term, it has this miraculous tendency. It will perform miracles. AI,
miracles.
AI will fast track. Oh, definitely rolling AI, integrating it into the healthcare system. Like I said, even from administrative point of view,
Yeah,
there is the well acknowledged shortage of staff. AI will perform the task of like how many administrative people, officers, because the speed and the performance is effective. So definitely I believe and I recommend it should be integrated.
okay,
It will help, but there should be a very good oversight. There should be, evaluation and control, so as to make sure it's
yeah,
doing what it's meant to be done.
yeah.
But yeah, AI
And this is
can
this is
help.
the healthcare episode, I suppose. We could talk about employment, how it affects employment, a whole nother episode. But I agree, staff shortages. It will cover that base slightly. It becomes a different topic when we're talking about
Yeah,
employment,
yeah.
maybe, or
And there is no sweet talking. AI will disrupt some uh, jobs in terms of, maybe making some type of jobs redundant. Who knows? Maybe even GPs may be affected. Someone like me, I'm really happy to be diagnosed by AI,
wow,
and I don't have any issue. So, but for now, all you need to is, we're evolving. So you need to evolve, add value to yourself according to your time. No matter what technology come, if you add value to yourself to be productive in that society, you will be carried and move on. So I believe anybody working in the healthcare system, no need to be scary, no need to be afraid. Just go and add value, incorporate yourself, and make sure you are carried along. Humans must survive. Your skills, your
okay,
brain is needed.
yeah.
So just know how to, if AI make certain jobs redundant, okay, go and be
Don't stop, basically. Don't stop.
yeah,
Keep going.
go and find, skills that sector or that society need is in
Needs.
demand, and you go on. Life goes on. Nothing. No, you are humans. We are creative.
Yeah.
Life goes on. But
Oh,
yeah, definitely, no sweet talking. AI will make some jobs redundant, maybe even in the healthcare system. But yeah, come on, move on, find your way.
find your way together,
Yeah,
or on your own, whichever way. Yeah. Okay. No, I've enjoyed talking about this because I said, we don't know in our lives when we will engage with the healthcare system. One minute everything will be fine. Next minute you're engaging with them, or a family member is engaging with them,
yeah.
and so we want to stay on top of this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
And I feel in a good position.
Yeah,
We owe it to us. We said this like in the first episode. We want to keep talking about this, inspire other people to want to talk about this as well,
yes,
and
yes.
answer any questions.
Yeah,
Because we have these conversations maybe one on one or when the news breaks,
yes.
but you want to be aware of the topic in advance.
And the good thing I think where we need to be talking about is something I notice, especially with the modern era, our time, technologies that are being rolled out, the development is fast.
Yeah.
Like it's more like a real time. Catching up is once the technology is rolled out,
Yeah.
see the revolution, the tech revolution, IT, from normal phone, I think it was wired landlines,
Yep.
to wireless. Now it was, you remember all this early form of mobile,
Yep.
Nokia,
And then suddenly,
Samsung, now it's completely
5G technology everywhere.
yes. So for catching up as well, you need to discuss in real time and
Yeah.
look, because I think the speed with which these technologies are moving is not concerning per se, but is alarming, and there need to be serious discussion and scrutinize all these things, be critical about it, because before you know, maybe we are talking of 50 years, who knows, you can see the AI fully integrated into the healthcare system in the next 20 years, 10 years.
Yeah. I
That's the
think so.
speed where things move. It can, in the next 10 years,
Yeah.
we may be here.
Productivity will jump, because you can argue right now we're all doing a lot of small bits of admin in our day, in our weeks, in our months, whether it's our own bits of admin in working with the technology, or sometimes, when you're helping an elderly family member, like you're doing all this extra admin.
Yes.
And that means productively as a society, maybe we're less productive, but suddenly when technologies are more advanced, it's going to go like that. It could just boom. So get ready for booming productivity.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole point. That's the purpose of creating the technology, is to help humans perform better, is to advance us. I believe that's the main point. How we use it is left for us, but the objective, the aim of all these emerging technologies is to help humans perform certain task or another, and we should embrace it and use it, but use it ethically with our conscience for advancement of humanity. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, excellent words, excellent sort of final sentiments. It's been a pleasure, as
Yeah,
always.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you to AUK Radio
Yeah.
and all of the team. We appreciate you. Remember to follow us on the social media, on X, on Facebook, on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Remember to
please do.
subscribe to the YouTube channel
Yeah.
and share so that others in your network can appreciate and listen and learn.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yeah.
What a
Thank you.
good, nice word. And my word is chill and relax. I
Chill.
know the match did not go the way you
Oh,
want.
come on.
So chill.
It's fine. It's
Have
fine.
relax and
I've forgotten about it already.
oh
Not.
yeah. We'll see how to integrate AI to help to enhance your player performance.
Yeah.
Players.
I didn't even mention, because there's a film on the streaming services called Big Hero 6, okay? And that film is a very good family film which talks about technology, and it touches on healthcare, okay? And in that, the main like healthcare assistant would analyze the people and give them solutions based on their emotional state. So I could do with that now. He would just scan me and say, "You're feeling emotional right now, Tamar. We're going to give you a pat on the back or a shoulder rub," and that's basically the kind of thing that maybe the future will hold for AI. So watch Big Hero 6. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.